Business consultant with Strategic Technology Partners of Texas. We are North Central Texas's local authorized Xerox sales agency and service providing company. We help companies and organizations of every size and every industry achieve an ideal printing solution. And today's video topic is about Xerox Standard Accounting. Xerox Standard Accounting is a free software tool that comes equipped with most Xerox, machines, okay, such as the VersaLink family of machines and the AltaLink machines. And it is a great tool for companies and organizations to really put a handle on their print-related costs. It's obviously important to, have some kind of controls for different departments and users. And, you set limitations on the types of things and how many things they can print and copy within a given time period, whether that be a week or a month or even over the course of a year. All right, so today I'm going to show you guys around the user interface and show you how to set it up as well. Okay, so first is first. All right, you have to actually know your IP address of your printer copier machine before getting into Xerox Standard Accounting. Now, to find the IP address of your machine, you can, of course, go up to the machine and print out a configuration report, or you can walk up to your machine and find the devices icon or devices tab on the machine. And under devices, you can find the word about. Under about, if you scroll down from there, you'll see an IP address number. It'll look like a series of 3-digit numbers with periods in between each section of numbers. Sometimes it looks like something like 172.111.2.789. All right. Now, to get into this particular machine for this video, I'm going to type in this particular IP address, which is 192.168.1.222. Once you type it in the URL address field on any web browser that you want to use, whether that's Chrome or Microsoft Edge or something like that, what will pop up is this screen right here. Now, we're not logged in yet, but we're about to log in to our admin account, okay? We're going to type in the the password there and log in. And once you log into your admin account, you'll see these tabs down the left side, all right? These tabs are pretty much everything that you can do inside Xerox Standard Accounting, but the main two I'm going to show you today are the Home tab and the Permissions tab, okay? On the Home tab, you can see your machine here and the IP address. You'll also be able to see your toner supplies and how much is there. We have 100% set up on this one because it's a brand new machine. We have ran a few test copies through it though, and so it has 8 black impressions and 21 impressions, and you can see the usage, a quick dashboard usage on the Home tab. Now, underneath that, some important quick links. All right, you can download a printer driver there, and you can access printer support, and you can go to the control panel from a remote standpoint here. And also, this one is the most important one that I want to show you today, and it's called cloning. But I'm going to save that for the very last thing at the end of this video, okay? Now, we're going to go spend the bulk of the time here in this video in the Permissions tab, all right? Now, in the Permissions tab, that's pretty much all the information that you'll need to, establish different general accounts and user accounts and set limitations and passwords and things like that, okay? So underneath Permissions, what we'll do, I will show you user accounts later, but for now, I'm going to click on Accounting, okay? And we're going to make sure that we have the right accounting method first and foremost. Now, there are 2 main options that you'll find companies and organizations would select. All right, if you're a small company and you really don't care, about setting any kind of controls or limits on the number of prints and scans a user or department can make, then you can select no accounting. But for the sake of this one, this video, we're going to spend our time, configuring Xerox Standard Accounting as our accounting method because we want to track device usage by individual users and general accounts. Now, if you had some kind of other, device, like an external device, like a card reader or something like that, you might select auxiliary device. And if you had some kind of external print software program that's really, extensive, something like YSoft or Paperclip, you would select network for that, okay? But if you're a company that just wants to, set some controls and limits on your different departments and employees, and you want to be able to, have an administrator or multiple administrators, then you would select Xerox Standard Accounting. Okay, click on Edit. All right. Now, under Edit, it's going to, say what types of things do we want to track. You can track all. You can only track, color by selecting this one, or you can do a custom tracking. All right. I totally recommend doing custom tracking because you can, get a little more granular with the options. So under prints, I say we need to track all prints, color and black and white. Okay. And under copies, track all. But on scanned images, I say do not track, because if you are a Xerox customer, an STPT customer, all scanned images are free. We don't charge for scans. Okay. So there's really no need to keep account of how many scans a machine has performed. All right. So after we click on OK, click OK again. All right. Now it's going to give you a pop-up and ask, do you want to add user accounts or general accounts now? Well, since this is brand new and we haven't really built out what our company's Xerox Standard Accounting program wants to look like, I'm going to add some general accounts first. General accounts, okay, just to speak on that a little bit, okay, general accounts are ways you can create a few different departments among your office staff, such as accounting and finance, marketing, new business development, legal, IT, different things like that. Okay. So I say we go ahead and create one for finance and accounting. And underneath the user ID for that, let's shorten it up and just call it accounting. Click OK. All right. Let's go ahead and create some more. All right, let's go marketing. Oh, sorry. Let's create one for the marketing team. All right, user ID marketing. Let's create one for the legal team. Legal. All right. Let's create one for the new business development team. Okay, shorten that user ID up to NBD. All right, now if you just wanted to do one for general office staff, okay, there, go ahead and type in office. All right, so now we have that selected. You might want to, change users per page. All right, let's say 20 users per page, because if you were at the machine and you're scrolling through the different accounts, it'll show you 20 rather than 5. Okay. Oh, and before I go too far, I should go ahead and tell you that under general accounts, okay, you can create up to 100 general accounts. So you can have 100 different departments or 100 different teams that you can allocate your print jobs and copy jobs to for accounting purposes. All right. Now I want to go back to the permissions tab to add user accounts. All right, let's add some users now that we only have one, and that's the admin. Okay, let's create one for me. I'm Jay McCaden, Josh McCaden. Let's say the password is 4 digits. I'll type in a password for Josh. You can create whatever kind of password methodology you want for your company, however you'd like to do that. All right, so let's add another one for Scott Smith. Okay. Okay. And let's add one for Mr. John Ross. Okay, John Ross. I'm giving him a 4-digit password as well. Okay, that password will be what he sees every time he wants to print something using his desktop computer or laptop computer or at the actual machine itself. Okay, now to set limits on an individual user and get really specific on what these people can and can't do, you just click into their name. Once their user account information pops up, all right, you can select what type of role he has. All right, let's say Jay McCaden is a basic user. All right, let's say you wanted to make him an administrator. You could do that here as well. Okay, you can change password here of Josh's password. You could add a picture into that. You could actually delete this user account as well if Josh gets fired or if Josh McCaden decides to move on and go work at another company, right? Underneath here, you can get real specific under accounting. If you click on edit, the edit button under accounting, let's limit Josh to 10 color copies per day. He's on the marketing / new business development team, and he often prints out brochures or slide decks and things like that, presentations that are customer facing. Let's say we want to limit him to only about 10 per day. Let's say we'll give him 310 color copies and 310 prints per month. And let's say 1,000 black and white prints and copies as well. And let's say we want him to be able to print using his own user account. But let's say sometimes we want Josh to be able to print out something for the department he works in and have it be allocated and for accounting purposes, have that print job or copy job allocated to the department rather than his own individual account. You could link his sales department or new business development right here. And let's say he does a little bit of marketing stuff as well. You can do multiple accounts, okay? So those general accounts you created earlier, you can assign different users to those departments. And what happens is whenever Josh goes to print something out, it is going to ask for a passcode, but it's also going to ask which account we want to allocate that print job to. Do we want to allocate it to the marketing department or new business development department, or do we want to allocate that to his own individual one? Okay. All right. So now Josh is all set up and ready to rock. Let's go over here to Scott Smith. Okay. Let's say Scott Smith is a accounts receivable manager or accounts payable manager. He's kind of the accounting finance type. And he doesn't need to color. He doesn't need any color at all, right? He doesn't print in color. There's no need for that. All right. But he does possibly print out thousands at a time or hundreds at a time. And he needs to be able to print or copy 5,000 black and white per month. And he's in the finance and accounting department. Okay. And maybe also office staff. I don't know. We'll link those general accounts to him as well. Okay, so that's how you do that. All right, now we're going to go back. Now I want to talk about the login, logout settings. Okay. Now, under login, logout settings, this is going to allow your company to decide how you want people to log in on the machine, or log in at their desktop, whenever they want to print or copy something. Okay. Now, the simple method, all right, if you selected the simple method, passwords are not going to be required. All it would do is the simple method would show a list of usernames on the machine itself, on the screen interface. And, let's say John Ross could simply click on John Ross and click print. Boom, boom, boom. It's really fast and easy. No password required. Now, it's up to you guys on whether or not you want to do that. However, if you are wanting to limit the types of things people print and the amount of things people print on your machines, then you'll want to go ahead and select local. Okay. And that is because you want passwords required. If passwords aren't required, then that means, Scott Smith could, be a little bit devious or, nefarious. And let's say he prints out a bunch of different personal things on your machines at work. And let's say he doesn't want the company to know that he's printing out hundreds of things at a time. Let's say he has a side gig, or a side hustle business, and he wants to print out flyers for that business. Well, if he does that, he can click on Josh McCaden's account, and now Josh McCaden looks like he's been printing all this stuff, when in reality he wasn't. It was Scott Smith doing it. Okay. So in order to keep people from doing that, click on local. Okay, so that passwords are required. All right. Now, you have two options from there, even. All right. How do you want users to identify themselves on the machine? If you really want to hide all of the different user accounts and general accounts, then you will have to, select this one, which is type in their username. Whenever they're at the machine screen interface, the printer copier, then they would have to type in JMCADEN, J McCaden, and they have to know their information, right? They have to know their username and their password from memory to be able to do that, because there won't be a list of usernames on a list. But I like selecting this personally, and that's what I recommend doing, because it's a lot faster and people don't have to remember what their username is to be able to print and copy. Okay. So that's that option there. All right. Now, do we want to add any user accounts? You'll see this pop up here, and we'll say later. Okay. All right. Now, down below here, underneath, this login method, login, logout settings, it's going to ask you if you want a log out. You want to log out immediately after a user is done with a print job, or do you want it to ask a user for confirmation before logging out? That's totally up to you. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go back though. All right. I'm going to show you all a couple of more options from the accounting methods screen. Okay. Underneath accounting methods, there are two important buttons here. All right. Report and reset. From here, you can actually print out a monthly report or weekly report or daily report. It's whatever you want to do. Okay. It's however you want to control this yourself. But if you guys are being charged by a print vendor like STPT, you'll receive monthly invoices. And if you guys want to allocate, all of the different printing costs toward different user accounts or general accounts and departments in your company, then I would totally recommend printing a report monthly by clicking on report. All right. And it asks you to include usernames, of course. We want to download this report. Whenever you download the report, it'll be a CSV file or Excel file. You can open that report, save it, rename it, save it wherever you'd like. That good stuff right there. Now, in this report, there's a lot of unnecessary columns, okay? These columns show the type of limitations per user or department. So really and truly, the first handful of columns are the most important because they're going to show the counters, all right? It's going to have how many black and white copies and print impressions and how many color copy and print impressions per user and account. All right, you'll see all of these user accounts, and you'll see that as well for the different general accounts among the office staff, okay? There you go. So there's your report. All right. Now, if you ever wanted to, use that report on a monthly basis and you wanted to reset your counters back to 0, you click on the reset button and select the top option to reset your usage data. Now, that is to reset all of the user and general account data back to 0 during a certain period of time. Okay. Now, this other option, okay, is apply factory default settings. That's basically resetting all of your settings. Now, if you do that, I want to, put a major warning, a major caution out there that if you do this and you click on this button, it's going to basically delete all of your user and general account settings and information and personalizations. It's going to delete it all and start from scratch. All right. Now, that is not an ideal thing to do. You only need to do that if you're really, really trying to start from scratch. And in order to, prevent yourself from making a huge mistake, all right, there is one thing you can do, and that is called cloning your settings. All right. You can clone this program's account and user settings to save that information. You can even do it daily, monthly, weekly. You can clone your settings right here underneath the home tab. You scroll down and find this icon, cloning. Okay. Whenever you create a clone file, you can save that file for just in case purposes. Okay. What you'll see here, whenever you're cloning, it's going to ask what you want to clone. There's a lot of different options here. You don't need to clone all that together. Okay. If it's just for your user accounts and general accounts and different things like that, then what you want to do is deselect that and find this one right here. Authentication, authorization, accounting, and personalization. If you want to clone that type of that type of data and put it into a clone file and save it for later, you can by hitting create. And what you'll see here underneath download is that you downloaded that file data right here. Okay. Of course, save that somewhere handy, whether that be the desktop or some kind of cloud file storage or even some kind of local storage, network storage, whatever it may be. Okay. But that's how you protect yourself from possibly deleting all of this information. And you can upload this clone file here and have all of that user account and setting data come back to life with ease. Okay, that's how you do that. All right, so hopefully I did a good enough job by explaining everything you need to know about the VersaLink's Xerox Standard Accounting interface and how to create accounts, general accounts, user accounts, how to set limitations on numbers of copies and types of copies, and some different account settings. I wish you guys good luck, and if you need anything, for printing and copying needs, please reach out. Thanks.